for working people.
Wickler's been the Wisconsin State Party chairman since 2019. He's received statewide and national encouragement to run after leading the state party during the 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. DNC members will elect a new chair on February 1st. Former Wisconsin Attorney General Brad Schimmel has kicked off his campaign for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. He's running against Susan Crawford to replace retiring liberal Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. Schimmel says conservatives have a better shot at the seat now than during the 2023 midterms.
Frankly, I always said if there's a stronger candidate out there, come on, I'll support you. Nobody else has come forward. We're not going to have the kind of divisive, expensive primary that we've had in past races that have cost conservatives the elections.
Justice Bradley's retirement means the court's 4-3 liberal majority will be up for grabs in the April 1st election. Possible deal breaker for holiday shoppers. ABC's Elizabeth Scholze reports a growing number of retailers now charge a fee for return purchases.
An estimated 40% of retailers now charge return shipping fees, ranging from $5 to $10 per shipment from brands like Zara, H&M, Abercrombie & Fitch, J.Crew, Macy's, and Saks Fifth Avenue. Amazon charges a $1 shipping fee if you return at a UPS store, when options like Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, or Kohl's are closer to your delivery address.
Some parts of the U.S. seen the coldest start to December in years. In Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh, high temperatures this week will only be in the 20s or 30s. Today we'll see sub-zero temps across parts of the Dakota and Minnesota. Temps in the teens across the Plains, Ohio Valley, Northeast, and New England. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 187 points. NASDAQ up 145. S&P 500 is up 3. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers back in the spotlight Thursday. The team squares off against the rival Lions from Ford Field. Wisconsin closed out the college football regular season with a 5-7 record after a 24-7 home loss to Minnesota. College basketball, number 17, Wisconsin hosts Michigan tomorrow night. 11th-ranked Marquette visits number 5 Iowa State Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, it's Bucks Pistons from Detroit. Bucks have won 6 straight. They're 10-9 overall. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Couple of new snags out there. Left lane is blocked. There is debris in the road. That's going to be I-41 east at the ramp from 60th Street. And expect some lane closures due to repairs on the ramp from Highway 119 to 194 north.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Turning partly cloudy today with some flurries possible, a high 32. Overnight low tonight, 21. Mostly cloudy and 32 again tomorrow. Chance for rain and snow on Wednesday in the afternoon and evening. It's going to be cold and windy, a high 38. Mostly sunny, windy, and cold on Thursday. Sub-zero wind chills in the morning with a high 26. Partly cloudy and 29 on Friday. 18 in Madison, 27 in Green Bay, 22 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time. 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Happy Monday. Happy Cyber Monday. Kind of an outdated term, isn't it? I think it was founded in 2005, but that's where we are. Cyber Monday. I don't know what's a better name. Digital Monday. I don't know. The whole word cyber just kind of bugs me, but that's where we are. It is Cyber Monday. 72.3 million people plan to make a purchase today, making it second, obviously, only to Black Friday. When it comes to the nation's consumer shopping, make sure you monitor those emails and watch comparison shopping. You can use sites like Retail Me Not or browser extensions like Honey if you're shopping online, because they give you a good sense of what comparison prices are across multiple platforms. Today, we're going to do, as we do every Monday, we'll do the Monday Market Preview. I always look forward to starting the week with Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. We'll do that in a bit. We'll review the opening shopping weekend of the holiday season. We'll talk about the economic challenges ahead for the next president. And we'll preview Giving Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Later in the show, speaking of giving, there are a lot of changes coming to nonprofit leadership roles in the greater Milwaukee area. Some have already been filled, but many are being filled with executive search firms. So we'll talk about the future of filling top nonprofit roles, CEO-type jobs with Lindsay Crete. Lindsay is the practice director for nonprofit executive search at Spano Pratt. She will join us in the second half of the show. Yes, Spano. Rose Spano-Anilli is one of the partners at the firm that Lindsay works at. Rose is Dave's cousin. All in the family. That's what we do during the holidays here on the Upswing. But like we do each and every morning, let's go to Up.
Now it's time for the Two Up on the Upswing.
It's Reclectic, and it's new at Gurney Mills. Saturday was the opening day for Reclectic at the Gurney Mills Mall and, of course, Gurney Mills, Illinois. It's a new concept store from the portfolio company that owns Anthropology, Free People, Newly, and Urban Outfitters. It opens its first store in July of 2023 in Philadelphia, and its second store just this past October in Tempe. This is the third store in the brand's only location in the Midwest. It's 24,000 square feet, has a variety of products all underneath the Urban Outfitters brand. But the difference here, and I think it's a trend in what we're seeing in retail, is that it's a mix of new items. It's a mix of used items. It's a mix of reclaimed items. It's a mix of thrift and everything, all from kind of trusted brands that you know and love. It's a really interesting model. The CEO says, "We created Reclectic to meet the need we saw in the market. We've seen a great interest from our customers in trying pre-loved items or taking accessories from scrap fabric to turn our product into something truly unique." The store joins 4 other new stores that opened at the Lake Country Mall, including a new bowling alley, a Japanese arcade game, karaoke, and a new kids zone. Regular hours for the store are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Really cool, again, a mix of old, consignment, and deals all under one roof. Second up, I broke down this weekend and finally kind of paid for an AI platform. I used the Black Friday deal to buy the monthly subscription for Perplexity. It's usually $20. I got it for $6 per month. Added that to my regular AI use. It added a bunch of Black Friday shopping functionality and more. Perplexity.ai if you want to check it out. But I saw this in Bloomberg over the weekend, and it's pretty interesting. Why are women less likely to use AI? AI's early adopters are disproportionately men, a disconnect that could grow the gender pay gap. Over the last 6 months, a lot of people have been surveying the use of AI platforms, and it's skewing more and more male. So there's a lot of concerns that it could lead to this Gen AI gender gap and kind of make that expand. I don't know. But you look at some of the stats out there, and it's 37% of women saying they're kind of worried about the future of AI. They found that all men reported using AI over the last 12 months, but there's a gap in male and female use. All right, when we come back, Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management joins, and we'll do our Monday market preview.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. And Horicon Bank, they get the job done together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
This holiday season, give the gift of a delicious experience to your family, colleagues, and clients with Milwaukee Food and City Tours. Board a bus and let our tour guides show you some of Santa's favorites on our Christmas Bakery Bus Tour. It's an action-packed 3-hour tour complete with stops at 5 bakeries in your choice of Milwaukee or Chicago. Whether they've been naughty or nice, everyone walks away with cookies and memories together. Book your Christmas Bakery Bus Tour for your office or family online at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
The work week is here. Let's begin with your Monday market preview with Jeff Sherman and Dave Spano.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined, as always, each and every Monday, Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. Happy Cyber Monday, Dave.
Yeah, you know, I was going to come on a little earlier, but I was too busy clicking all the online ads right now. So
I know, fast and furious, all the texts and emails. It's a full inbox this morning.
Some
that's
juicy
for sure.
stuff.
Yeah,
some
without
juicy
a
stuff.
doubt. Without a doubt. Get some of that early shopping done. So what are you seeing in terms of early shopping data from the first big weekend of the shopping season?
Well, you saw the MasterCard showed that there's a 3.4% increase from the Black Friday sales, and that's mostly online, and that's growing. So the in-store sales were up, 0.7%, but the e-commerce up big time, up 14.5%. Not surprising. I mean, if you drove by, as I did, a couple of the malls and drove by Mayfair and Brookfield Square, and they were full, but they weren't, brimmed out to the streets as they have in the past. So I do certainly think that e-commerce is the way, and And I think it's going to be another big day today.
Yeah, without a doubt. I looked kind of deeper and found that mobile devices accounted for 55% of all online spending. Like you said, popular discounts included the toys and electronics and TVs. And like I said in the Two Up, I kind of dove in and did the subscription model for one of the AI platforms because I got a special offer. I'm going to try it out for a month and see if I like it. And then, an interesting thing, Gen AI, the chatbots, the use increased by 1,800% compared to last year. So a lot more U.S. shoppers are getting more comfortable using the chatbots on different sites to answer questions and find more deals.
Yeah, and we're seeing not only the chatbots, but even shoppers. They had started earlier. Obviously, we're talking a lot about Cyber Monday, but we saw about half of all shoppers already started buying way before this week because they were watching for online deals and asking AI. And by the way, I don't know if you watched on Sunday morning talk shows on Fox's talk show. The whole show was on AI, and it was pretty interesting. And some people might be afraid of it, but the opportunity set is just absolutely amazing. It's certainly going to be one of those things that we have in this country, like an industrial revolution. It certainly feels like that.
Yeah, without a doubt. As I tell a lot of people, just in day-to-day planning, I find it takes me from A to S way quicker, and then it's kind of up to me to get from S to Z in whatever plan I'm working on, or an outline or a presentation. So the platforms are just getting so easy to use and just so much information out there that it really makes kind of day-to-day life a lot easier.
It's helping, and I assume it's helping with your content as well. You've got to do a show every single day, and it probably is helpful, I'd assume.
Yeah, it helps with the planning, and it helps with just kind of, if I want to scan a document that I want to read the whole thing, it can give me a summary and, provide, some really useful tips. So I wanted to get your thoughts on just, you're seeing with the administration, Trump looking at, all right, I've made all these economic campaign promises for working class, for his core group, millionaires, billionaires. Is it an impossible task moving forward to make sure he's taking care of all of his promises in his term?
Well, is it an impossible task? No. But, yeah, it's not going to be easy. I mean, even those who really want a lot of these things to go through, they're going to get pushback. Just think about, for example, what's going to happen with the lobbyist. If just pick on Doge for a second and Musk's opportunity to cut some expenses. The lobbyists aren't going to just let that go, and they've become accustomed to that lifestyle and that business. So you're going to get pushback there. You're going to get pushback from obviously the media. You're going to get pushback from politicians, the Democrats. So it's not going to be easy, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, all three of the House, the Senate, and obviously the presidency will be read at some point. So there'll be a lot of these things that do get pushed through, but how do you balance it? Especially when it comes to tax cuts, you're going to have pay-fors for a lot of these things, and that's going to be a difficult conversation.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Does the child tax credit stay? Right. What's he doing in terms of the taxing on tips and a lot of stuff he's mentioned during the campaign? How do you integrate that and follow through with it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think we can spend some more time talking about that. But, we talk about really who's going to be the beneficiary of that. That earned income tax credit is huge. We talk about who's paying the taxes, Jeff. And, you see that 40% of all the revenue is paid by the top 1%. And the top 10% pay 75% of all of the income tax revenue. And so the bottom 50%, with they have a 3% and an average 3% tax rate and 3% of the revenue, and that's before the earned income tax credit. So I'd like to see that stays as well. But there's no question that the progressive tax system is in place. So I never understood Bernie Sanders saying it's not whose fair share. It's easy to say that. And by the way, there's a Wall Street Journal op-ed that came out on Friday that's worth reading that talks about this exact thing.
Very good. When we come back, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. We'll get Dave Spano's take on the best ways to give, not only tomorrow, but throughout the year. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety
now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there. We have wind gusts where it's at 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in the storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected. And no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Welcome back to the Upswing, WTMJ's Trivia Showdown, presented by Quizmaster Trivia in support of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive is back. You can join WTMJ's Greg Matzik and Eric Bilstead as they host the competition. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a case of Cyber Monday today. It is WTMJ's John McCure and Julia Fellow as they host the competition at Camp Bar in Wauwatosa this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it, you can text Capco, KAPCO, to the WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620. We'll send you a donation link. Your donations would be appreciated. But this Wednesday at Camp Bar in Wauwatosa, you can join John McCure and Julia Fellow and test your trivia knowledge. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and later in the show, we're going to explore some of the trends in filling nonprofit CEO jobs in the area. And tomorrow, we'll highlight a bunch of ways to give, including hearing from the CEOs of Feeding America and Hunger Task Force. But today, Dave, I want to talk about what are some of the biggest challenges facing U.S.-based charities in the current economic environment?
Well, first of all, I'll meet you at Camp Bar on Wednesday.
Yes, all right. Yes.
Go hang out with McCure for a little bit. But, you look at what's happening with the current economic environment and the tax plan, the 2017 tax plan that was set to expire, which we almost certainly look like they're going to be an extension of that. was part of the issue, because what people started to do, Jeff, is because of the standard deduction, people were bunching. And what that meant is instead of putting them in one year, they would bunch them in the every other year to get to that over the standard deduction because it was so high. And so we saw a lot of bunching that was going on, and it looked like charitable giving went down, but it was still, $550 billion last year. That's a big number, but it was a 3% decline, and that came from our research, from what people were, they were trying to get a hold of that standard deduction, and that meant giving every other year. So that was certainly an issue out there. And so the IRS does track this pretty well, obviously, because it's a reduction in tax income. And so we do watch that as well. And there's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of really good research reports. In fact, I found one from the great IU, Indiana University program. They have a philanthropy program. And they had that program long before they had a football program, I should add. and so there's a lot out there that says that the rich give a lot. They give about 13%, but so do those people making $50,000. Mm-hmm. They're still giving as well. So that's really encouraging.
Yeah, you look at a lot of the rankings. I saw one on Wallet Hub this past weekend. The most charitable states aren't necessarily the ones where people give the largest raw amounts of money. It's all also contributing time and resources. Right. The least charitable state, by the way, New Mexico. The most charitable, Wyoming. Wisconsin came in right about 36, but Illinois and Minnesota way above us. Illinois at 12 and Minnesota at 3. What do you...
And taxes are a part of that. And taxes are a part of that, Jeff, right?
Yeah.
So you think about if you're in a high-tax state, giving away to your favorite charity versus paying in taxes is a motivator.
Do you advise a certain percentage in terms of annual giving for your clients?
No, it is so personal, Jeff, and that's the reason why we do that with every single client. I mean, every single client that we meet with has an individual plan. We talk to them about what's important to them, and there are some people, Jeff, who say, "I'm not going to give anything to my kids. That might ruin them." And there's people on the other side who say, "I'm not spending any of my money today because I want it all to go to the kids." So it really is how they were raised, what their thought pattern is. Do they think it's going to make a difference? And so it is very individual, and that's the reason why we sit down and talk through every one of these issues with our clients.
Very good. We only got about 20 more seconds, but what's the week ahead look like for economic data?
Yeah, two things. The Beige Book, Fed's Beige Book comes out, and more importantly, the employment situation is going to come out, and that'll be out on Friday, and we'll do an update right after that. But there's no question, lots to pay attention to, and folks, just because the market is rallying now doesn't mean it's going to go on forever. Make sure your financial plan is in order, know what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it.
Very good. Dave Spano, CEO, NX Wealth Management. Dave, have a wonderful week. We'll talk again next Monday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Coming up next, executive search in the nonprofit world. WTMJ News Time, 10:30, ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre defending President Biden's decision to pardon his son Hunter aboard Air Force One this morning. She said the president felt the charges against Hunter were political.
He said he wrestled with this, and because he believes in the justice system, but he also believes that the war politics infected the process and led to a miscarriage of justice.
President Biden on his way right now to Angola. Also today, Hezbollah firing into a disputed border zone, the militant group's first attack since its ceasefire with Israel last week. The Supreme Court hearing oral arguments today on whether the government can ban candy-flavored vapes, citing concerns that kids will become addicted. The CEO of Intel is retiring. Pat Gelsinger joined the company in 2021. Intel used to dominate the computer processing market, but in recent years has lost ground to companies like NVIDIA. This summer, the company announced it'd be laying off 10% of its workers. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Former state Supreme Court Justice David Prosser has died. Prosser spent 18 years on the state's high court. He also served more than 15 years in the state legislature, 2 years as Assembly Speaker. Prosser had been battling cancer. He was 81. A missing Two Rivers child found dead. The body of 7-year-old Jacob Bear, described as autistic, was recovered from the West River Sunday morning. Bear was reported missing from Veterans Park Saturday evening where he was playing. His parents lost sight of him. Several objects belonging to Bear were recovered from the water Saturday night. Debunking an online photo of a child with a gun, Sun Prairie police responded to concerns of the photo Sunday. An investigation determined it was an air gun. Police confiscated it. It'll be destroyed. Police did speak with the child and their parents, and no charges will be filed. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still a mixed picture on Wall Street with the Dow down 101 points, 44,808. The Nasdaq is up 159 at 19,377. S&P 500 up 10 points now at 6,043. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Those earlier problems have both been cleared off. I-41 East at 60th Street, the left lane there was blocked due to a crash. That has been cleared off. Also left lane blocked on I-41 East at the ramp from 60th Street. The debris in that area has been cleared as well. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Turning partly cloudy today. Flurries possible. High 32. Partly cloudy overnight with a low 21. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. 32 for the high. Then a chance of rain and snow Wednesday afternoon and evening. High of 38. Sub-zero wind chills possible Thursday morning. Sunny, windy, cold that day with a high Thursday 26. Partly cloudy Friday with a high of 29. 18 in Madison. 27 now in Green Bay and 22 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:33.
Refresh your space during Dutch Boy Days at Menards. Get a paint that combines durability and gorgeous color. Dutch Boy's DuraClean Interior Paint and Primer in One offers Stay Clean technology, making your home stay beautiful and clean longer. With Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Boy season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Bengo made his list and checked it twice. Turns out Bucks fans are really nice. Slay the holidays with a limited time ticket offer that will land you at the top of Bengo's nice list. Score gifts for the Bucks fans in your life and treat yourself too. Holiday packages feature ticket codes to redeem now or use later, exclusive Bucks holiday items, and an e-gift card that can be used to eat, drink, and be merry at Pfizer Forum. Explore options at bucks.com/deal season.
Easttown Jewelers in Mequon is closing its doors after 40 years. Savings up to 70% on everything. Easttown Jewelers has a great selection of diamond rings and earrings, pendants, gold and silver jewelry, colored gemstone rings, and Mary's custom designs, and much more. Looking to get the perfect gift for someone special this holiday season? You've got to check them out. Store hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Doors will be closed forever. So don't delay. That's Easttown Jewelers in Mequon.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Cyber Monday. So Spano Pratt Executive Search is one of the leading privately held executive search firms that works to secure top talent in the nonprofit sector, mainly in southeastern Wisconsin, actually around the region. They conduct searches for leaders at the CEO, president level, executive director, vice president, and director levels, currently looking for the perfect candidate for Hmong American Peace Academy, the War Memorial Center right here in Milwaukee, and Three Pillars senior living communities. Spano Pratt, it's owned by LAK Group, one of the Midwest premier human resource consultancies and human capital strategy firms. They've recently hired jobs at Seeds of Health, Milwaukee Jewish Federation, Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation. And as we talked about last week, there's current openings at UWM, Marquette University just hired from within, UPath just hired from corporate, Discovery World just hired a new executive director from within. So there's always a lot of change. And I feel like it's an interesting time in the job market, especially the nonprofit sector. So much transformation, funding models continue to change. Workforce expectations are different. Leadership is ever evolving. So Lindsay Crete is joining us from Spinal Prot this morning to talk about it all, the challenges, the trends, and much, much more. Lindsay, thanks for being in the studio. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Nice to be here.
Great. All right. So what are some of the current trends and challenges for nonprofits and social impact work?
I think that one of the key challenges and current trends that we're seeing in the nonprofit and social impact work is around fundraising and philanthropy. So the trend that we're seeing is declining government funding. Therefore, funding mix is changing. There's a shift towards private funding. So, for example, organizations now are focusing more on foundations and individuals for giving. Foundations can come in the form of private foundations, family foundations, corporate foundations. War Memorial Center is a perfect example of that. We know that there's a stair-step funding decline through 2030 from the county. So as we are out looking for our next president and CEO, we're very aware that the next executive who comes into the position needs to have a good handle on the landscape of fundraising for the War Memorial Center and get creative about how to drive funding for the War Memorial Center.
Yeah, I mean, creativity at the CEO level, whether it's a nonprofit or for-profit, is needed for sure. Well, you know, when you're looking for, let's take the War Memorial as an example. Who are the key targets for those openings? Is it current CEOs? Is it current nonprofit executives? Is it board members at the organization? Like, where are you finding the best candidate?
Great question. And the easy answer is it depends.
All the above?
All of the above, no doubt. So in executive search, what we take very seriously at Spano Pratt is what we call the discovery phase of the search, which is really the pre-search or homework that we do before we go live or launch the search and start recruiting. So we spend a lot of time with key stakeholders around an organization trying to understand what the must-haves, the nice-to-haves, and even the deal-breakers are in the candidates. So it's very dependent on the organization and what's important to them. So War Memorial is a great example. We love this building on the lakefront. We know through discovery and talking to many people related to the War Memorial, including the board members, including the county executive who cares very much about the War Memorial and its success. We know that this next executive has to have an allegiance to veterans in some capacity. A nice to have would be for that person to be a veteran, but some sort of allegiance and affinity towards the veteran population is a must have. Also, because it's this iconic building, interestingly, this CEO has to have some familiarity with architecture and some appreciation for the iconic building itself. And then, no doubt, because of the funding issues we just talked about, this person has to have familiarity with local and state government.
Yeah. You have to you got to hit on all of those for sure. And I'm sure it's an interesting, not only do you look at, all right, who could we look at from within the organization? But if you're recruiting to the Milwaukee area, that kind of comes with its own challenges. So I want to ask you about that when we come back. Lindsay Crete joins us. This is The Upswing. We are presented by Horicon Bank.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake. Are you sure you're getting the most out of Social Security benefits? At Drake & Associates, we know that maximizing your Social Security is critical for a secure retirement. With the right strategy, you can potentially increase your lifetime benefits and secure a better future. But navigating the rules and timing can be complex. Don't leave your benefits to chance. Text SS to 414-409-9982 today to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a free retirement ready toolkit. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Drake & Associates, plan smart, retire happy.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
The original Botana's restaurant. More than 50 tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors, convenient parking, and the best service in town. Stop by to enjoy their weekday lunch specials. The original Botana's on 5th Street.
Mi casa es su casa. That's Botana's.
What you doing?
I'm completely sealing up all the doors to get the house ready for winter.
How will we get in and out?
We'll just have to hunker down till spring.
Sometimes getting your home ready for winter is best left to professionals. The same is definitely true for your vehicles. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed. Have your brakes and wipers checked and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Visit adamm.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, "Why would I put up with that?" Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Katie, Inspired Closets got another 5-star review.
That's great to hear, Dan. Another client saved from builder-grade wire shelving.
Plus, Inspired Closets was able to double their storage space, their closet, entryway, and pantry,
which calmed the chaos in their home.
Find what you're looking for and find it faster.
Don't wait any longer. Double your existing storage today.
Inspired Closets will calm your chaos. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We're talking about filling nonprofit executive roles in Greater Milwaukee. Lindsay Crete from Spano Pratt joins us. So, Lindsay, is it, you look at the market in terms of the positions you're recruiting for right now, is it challenging recruiting CEOs and top-tier executives to Greater Milwaukee?
The short answer is no.
That's good.
As
like
I said to you during break, Jeff, I love Milwaukee and all things Wisconsin, so I think I'm a good salesperson for candidates. But we certainly find candidates from coast to coast and border to border. And oftentimes the candidates who are interested in the positions that we're recruiting for in the greater Milwaukee area have some connection here, whether it's family or alumni or a draw to the Midwest. They're intrigued by the roles that we're recruiting for in Milwaukee. And in the discovery phase, as I mentioned before break, often we hear from boards of directors or hiring managers that they appreciate a familiarity with Milwaukee for various reasons, whether it's the donor base, whether it's for community-specific issues, whether it's for the laws and regulations in the state, for example. So Milwaukee knowledge is usually a nice to have, but we do generally expand our searches to a broader geographic area. And what's interesting is that an example of a good candidate mix is a few recent searches that we did. Food and Farm Exploration Center in Little Plover, Wisconsin.
Okay, nice.
Where we were looking for an executive director who had to have the criteria of deep love and passion for the agricultural industry and this whole concept of seed to farm. We had candidates coming from all over the country who are clamoring for this job. Also 3 pillars, not necessarily rural, but the outskirts of Milwaukee looking for a CFO. We had candidates from all over the country that were interested in this position. And then the third one I can call out is the Greater Watertown Community Health Foundation. These are all 3 examples of more rural or outset positions, and our candidate pool came from all over the country. What's interesting is that all local candidates ultimately got the job.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, it does kind of reinforce 2 things that I'm seeing. One, I'm saying that 2025 is the year of the Midwest. People are just kind of finally really seeing, wow, the quality of life here, the opportunities here. And maybe you're boomeranging back because you lived in the Midwest and you moved away for whatever reason. But people tend to come back to the Midwest because of opportunities, family, and friends. So I think we're seeing a lot of that.
No doubt. I agree with you.
And in terms of, you mentioned positions being filled locally, how many inquiries and resumes are you getting for each executive position? Because I feel like that number, whether it's an executive role or just a post that you're seeing on LinkedIn, there's more and more people applying for roles right now. Am I correct with that?
We do executive search.
Yeah.
So the number of candidates that we're going to get interested in a CEO or C-suite level search is going to be different than a level at a mid-tier or lower.
Okay.
However, very loosely, I'll throw out the number of approximately 100. But with executive search, the difference between executive search and good old-fashioned recruiting is our research, identification, and outreach. So that very loose number of 100 that I just gave you is mostly candidates that we've identified through our own organic research. So we are doing research to identify profiles that might be a good match for our clients, and we are reaching out to them to try to garner interest. So the number of inquiries that we're getting externally is far fewer than the number of people that we're actually directly reaching out to.
All right. When we come back, I want to talk to you, Lindsay, about skill set changes and how we can all stay current in this ever-changing job environment, no matter what job you're looking for. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
The country gearing up for more record-breaking travel this holiday weekend.
Eric Bilstad.
It's official. The USS Beloit will now be on its way to Florida.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
It's a tough one. Yeah, westbound 94. We've got the freeway closed in Johnson Creek.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
People often ask, how are you so handsome? No, Ben. Speak for yourself, Arvid. People want to know what penny mustard furniture we have in our homes.
Well, I'm proud to own the Elysian sofa.
The Elysian sofa?
It's actually the SB 243 sofa, but I call it the Elysian sofa.
Nicole, what made you choose the Elysian?
It's like comfort and sophistication had a baby.
Huh?
If you dropped in for a visit and saw my sofa, you'd never know I'd been relaxing and binging the latest Dutton family saga.
No spoilers.
And I don't mind when the dogs jump up to bark at a plastic bag blowing through the yard because there aren't any back cushions to destroy.
Okay, I just have one question.
Yes?
Sofas can have babies? The Elysian sofa, starting at just $202 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest till December of 2026 through December 8th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing, bringing Christmas cheer to those in need. Jeff Sherman here for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive. WTMJ is partnering with Capco for its annual Kids to Kids Toy Drive, where we're collecting toys and monetary donations to help make this Christmas season just a little bit extra special for a child in need. You can support Capco's mission of supplying toys for children across southeastern Wisconsin by clicking on the donation link at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ app. You scan the QR code as you're watching on YouTube Live, or you can just text the word Capco to the WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Each dollar collected between now and December 7th will be used to purchase a toy for a child in need. It's Capco's annual Kids to Kids Toy Drive, now through December 7th. Friendly reminder, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, so we're talking nonprofit jobs with Lindsay Crete from Spano Pratt. Lindsay, as you look at skill sets for whatever role you're hiring, how do we all best stay current?
I don't think I'm going to say anything monumental or life-changing here. Simply, we have to embrace technology and embrace innovation. AI, we have to find a way to make it work for all of us. For example, in the nonprofit world, AI can be used to personalize donor relationships. We know that there's this heightened sense of making the story of donor giving more personal for potential donors. So why not utilize AI to help personalize those stories? Technology helps with data and metrics. We're a metrics-driven society, so that can help with donor relationships as well.
Yeah.
We have to read about trends and we have to practice. So we talk about AI, but we actually have to use AI. At the same time, I have to underscore that we can never, ever ignore soft skills and what we like to call HI, human intelligence, communication, critical thinking, adaptability. All of those things are never, ever going to go away. And that mix of technology and soft skills are ever more important.
As you're looking from an executive level, do you provide tips for interviewees as they prepare to move on in the process?
I do. The advice that I give to candidates as they're walking into a boardroom, often to do some sort of panel interviewing, is to practice, to do as much research as possible about the organization. I hear very often a hiring committee ask the question, so what do you know about us? What do you see as our current challenges? What do you think our future looks like? Know who's in the room.
Yeah.
And always have examples to share. Be personable, not robotic when you're going through an interview. People want to get to know you and hire a person, not a robot.
Do you find that that's easier during holiday time? Are people just kind of in a more festive mood as they're interviewing and maybe looking for a new job? Is it a good time to be searching for a new job?
I don't know if the holiday season makes a person act more personable in a boardroom. However, we are seeing the job market as active as ever and candidate communication and interest as robust as ever as we're approaching Christmas time.
All right. One more question, Lindsay. Lindsay Crete from Spano Pratt. What are the generational differences that you're seeing in the job market right now as you're looking at, possibly a 30-year-old and a 62-year-old? What are the differences there in terms of their approach going after jobs?
Again, I don't have anything to say that hasn't been said before and is pretty evident in the workforce. We have many generations in the workforce, and their adaptability and adeptness with technology is significantly different. What we're encouraging in the workplace is mentorship. Having a young person take under their wings somebody in a baby boomer or higher generation or vice versa so that they can understand each other's style of communication, et cetera. And as it relates to the nonprofit sector, people in senior leadership positions need to explore ways to engage their workforce, their donors, their board members. As board members are rolling off, younger generation board members are rolling onto boards. So we have to be able to adapt our communication style to all generations. And in doing so, it makes the opportunity or the desire to join the mission of these organizations more appealing or more compelling.
Very good. Always wonderful dynamics in the nonprofit CEO world. Lindsay Crete from Spinal Pret, I appreciate your time this morning. Coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee